I know I'm late to the game with an Odyssey review. Surprise, surprise, it's very good. In fact, I can't imagine the Odyssey ever being done better than this. Everything for me that Chris Nolan normally does is working very, very well. The acting is very good, the action is really good, the practical effects are amazing, the Cyclops was pretty terrifying. There's also another terrifying part, it has to do with the poster behind me. Overall, there's very little negative to say about this movie at all, because this film is nearly perfect, but I have one criticism, maybe more like a potential warning for Chris Nolan moving forward. He has recycled the exact same structure now for most of his films. There's a non-linear circular nature to his storytelling, and what that means is he likes to bounce around a lot and keep a lot of information from us until we need it at some point later on in the film. And he circles back around. Every time we come back to the same thing that we saw before, now we're given a new piece of information. We have a deeper understanding, richer subtext. All of it sounds great on paper, right? But now that Chris Nolan has recycled this structure with most of the movies he's ever made, I think he has to be a little careful when doing an adaptation, especially one that's as well known of a story as this, because I found myself anticipating what was around the corner, and most of the time I was right. Now, it didn't take away my enjoyment of the film at all. I still very much enjoyed it, but I do think it might take away the enjoyment on a rewatch. Now that I know what's coming, now that the mystery is kind of gone, you know, who is Zendaya? What is he looking at on the steps of Troy that we keep seeing time and time again? But now that I know the twist that's coming, the surprise that's coming, that he inevitably always does. He did the same thing with Oppenheimer. The reason why it might be an issue on a rewatch is because The Odyssey is a really well-known story. I already know all the plot points. I already know all the story beats that are coming. And you compare that with Inception, Interstellar, Memento. These three movies still feel very original because there's not a lot of other movies out there about implanting thoughts into other people's brains, or an emotional race against time and deep outer space, going literally where no one has ever gone before. How many movies can we possibly think of that are murder mysteries told from the perspective of somebody with short-term memory loss? See what I mean? These are subject matters, these are plots that are very original, and on a rewatch they still feel original. Is The Odyssey going to feel that way? Now that we know that the structure was keeping things from us, things that quite frankly, had we known early on in the film, it wouldn't have had the same impact at the end. So again, this isn't a criticism for this movie. This movie worked beautifully, but when you keep telling stories in the same way, you keep hitting a lot of the same story beats in a way that makes me anticipate what you're going to do next. And that's not always a good thing, especially when you don't subvert my expectation. And I'm concerned that on a rewatch of a movie like this, it may not hit the same. It may not feel as original. It may feel like a little bit more work to get through some of this, especially since it's so long. But in order to know for sure, I'd have to watch it again. I'd have to think about it, and I'd have to have some conversations with other people, because I really do want to know what other people think about this movie. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think of it down below.